Buonasera a tutti ragazzi e bentrovati sul canale di TSSitaliangame, sono J-Steam e ricominciamo con questa gameplay di The Raven Legacy of Master Thief. Quindi l'ultima volta ci avevano dato una botta in testa e siamo rimasti fuori gioco per un po', hanno ucciso la baronessa e adesso andiamo a vedere un po'. Allora andiamo qui perché a quanto pare Legrand stava indagando sul bicchiere di champagne che ci avevano dato perché oltre alla botta in testa ci avevano anche drogato per come la pensava lui con lo champagne. Non sembra ci sia niente da esaminare. Andiamo qui. No, qui non c'è niente. Andiamo qui sull'after deck, cioè sul ponte che sta qui dopo, subito dopo. Tata Saloon. Ma qua non si può andare. Examine the deck chair.
I'd really like to lie in the sun, but I don't have time.
Lie in the sun.
No, Jacob.
No. Fottiti. Ok, andiamo di qua. Non si può andare da nessun'altra parte, quindi. Examine the credits. Esaminiamole.
I suppose the life jackets are close to the railing. I hope I don't find myself needing.
Andiamo su. Vediamo se c'è qualcosa. Ma nell'inventario che abbiamo, a parte il solito...
We were here yesterday when we heard the shot, and it was also here where Legrand caught us stop.
Cosa? Che c'è di particolare, scusa? Esamina la porta, vediamo.
The ship's bridge. 2 men. One of them navigating. I get the impression that the officers keep things running. It seems like the captain
Ce lascia qui di nuovo.
Why is there... I suppose it's for chopping through ropes in the event that the lifeboats can't be lowered. Or they use it to enforce who's allowed on the boat and who's not. I better let the men do their work.
Qui ce n'è una che non funziona di ventola. Andiamo.
The grate must be part of the ship's ventilation system.
Come no?
The grate shouldn't be... No. The pipe is too narrow. He wouldn't fit in there. I guess the cover has been defective for a while. I could inform the captain that the grid... But if I start reporting all the problems on the ship, I'd have to shelve my murder investigation.
No, qui sembra non ci sia più niente, quindi aspetterò. Examine the lifeboat. Ah, questo.
Were the tarpaulins arranged like... You can tell at a glance that every...
Beh, niente di particolare qui sopra. Abbiamo esaminato tutto, non c'è niente di particolare. Dovrei andare qui, ma si può? Sì, ok. Perfetto. Guarda questo deficiente che sta dormendo.
It may not seem like it, but Constable Oliver is actually a very effective...
Ehi, stupido idiota.
The rape?
What?
Or at least he might as well have. I understand. Any conclusions about a young stowaway?
Yeah, he's a bit suspicious. Foreign and whatnot.
I see. Did he act suspiciously in any way?
No. The shot surprised him as much as it did me. Looked in on him earlier. Still seems to be asleep.
Covered with a blanket from head to toe?
Oh, he's still in there.
May I go downstairs and have a cup?
No.
Come again.
Inspector Legrand wants to conduct all the interrogation.
I'm sure.
He ordered me to guard.
How about a bit of individual initiative?
How about letting a man do his job? Or do you think...
Vuole andare a fare delle domande, quindi, però non ci fa passare.
What do you think? What happened here last night?
The Raven broke into the Baroness's cabin, she surprised him, and he shot her.
What was he looking for in her cabin?
She was a rich woman.
La
Why
chiave,
did
la
he lock
chiave.
the door?
Why not?
From inside?
I'm not saying I'm...
Why did...
Are you serious?
But fortunately... Let's assume that the old Raven really has returned and that he really is responsible for all this. Who is he? Or she?
Oh, could be anyone. No one's ever seen the Raven.
He could also be paying...
But of course.
But no one... Fess...
The man Legrand.
Or the real... I don't want to keep you...
Good idea.
Cioè, si è addormentato subito. Porca puttana.
Constable Oliver You can tell it's not... The bottle should be full of water. Unless the good constable happens to have a secret out. No way to verify that. The bottle...
Esaminiamo qui il campetto da... non ricordo come si chiama questo gioco.
I wonder if this game is an advanced version of bocce.
Bocce. Mi danno troppo ridere gli inglesi quando cercano di dire le cose in italiano.
Salty sea air in my old lungs, wind in my thinning hair. If I hadn't become a policeman, I could have been a sailor.
Quindi niente di particolare qui. Esaminiamo un po' la porta, vediamo se riusciamo a entrare senza che ci schiavi, ma è impossibile.
The stowaway surely didn't sleep well last night in the cargo, although his cell is probably more comfortable than my cabin. I have to talk to the young fellow right... If I want to get into the cargo hold, I'll have to get rid of the constable first. He won't let me talk to a...
Come faccio a sbarazzarmene? Posso solo parlare, esaminare la bottiglia e
He
la
won't let
porta.
me talk to our young... He respects Legrand far too much to disobey his orders. If I want to get into the cargo hold, I'll have to get rid of the constable first.
Come cazzo devo fare?
I have... He won't let me...
Se trovassi Matt potrei dirgli di distrarlo, però non so dov'è in questo momento, quindi non... Niente, quindi proviamo ad andare qui e a scendere giù, vediamo se si può. Sperando che si può. Che si possa. Che si può, beh. Ah, che si può. Allora, quindi no, medical center subito no. Esaminiamo qualcosa prima, se si può. Examine the alarm.
An alarm like this one was set off yesterday. This one hasn't been set off. The security seal is intact.
Esaminiamo il
I'm not
corridoio.
paying for this trip, and that's a fair price for my cabin. It's rather plain. That is Legrand's.
Si può entrare?
Come in.
Bene. C'è un laboratorio, abbiamo detto quello. Porca puttana.
Ah, so, are you ready?
Good morning. My head is pounding.
Chloral hydrate. That's why you have a head.
Ah, quindi ci hanno drogato veramente.
I found traces of it in your champagne glass.
And this chloral,
Is a tranquil. Who gave?
I believe it.
If believing were enough for us, we'd have become priests. Be a policeman and
What have you found out so far?
The Baroness was shot into... The murderer quickly fled the cabin and dropped the murder weapon over the railing lid.
But why was her...
Exactly. If the murderer wanted to make it seem like a...
And if it was...
Especially since we arrived...
Something doesn't make...
No, it doesn't, and it's driving me... On the gangway,
And since he doesn't know the ship, he had bad luck.
Indeed.
Not a...
Neither.
What kind of...
A pistol. A Luger.
Empty...
Manufactured 1,000,000 times during and after the First World War. Austrian. The owner is David Kreutzer, the violinist.
Cosa?
Found him tonight totally drunk on the bow of the ship. He confirmed that it's his gun, but he claims that it was stolen from him.
Fingerprints?
Nothing.
And it...
The ballistic tests are incomplete. Actually, I've been waiting far too long for the bullet recovered from the corpse. Pay the good doctor a visit, Zellner, and see that he does his job.
Do you believe...
He'll be the first person. He claims he can't remember anything from the last few hours. Says he drank a bottle of schnapps.
He was on the train and he doesn't
Un po' di
have an
schnapps
alibi.
solo io.
His drunkenness could be...
He fits the profile.
Quello è Schweppes, però vabbè. Quindi...
You think that the jewel thief is the murderer?
Our friend would have needed another key to open the safe and steal the second eye, the one the Baroness was carrying. At least, that's what we implied.
What do you mean?
The Baroness was famous for her forgetfulness. I convinced her to give me its safe.
The thief searches the Baroness's cabin,
She returns from the saloon earlier than expected.
surprises him, and he can't allow her to identify.
He imprisons her,
And thus, the
but still that...
Ah, quindi praticamente... Allora, la chiave gliel'ha data a Legrand. E sicuramente, come stanno pensando loro, il ladro era nella cabina per cercare appunto la chiave. Però la baronessa è tornata prima perché era ubriaca fradicia. E quindi quando lei l'ha scoperto lui l'ha sparata. Però non si sa.
Are you sure
Cioè...
that there's no...
Professor Lucien locked it in front of an audience and it will be opened for the first time in...
Let's hope
Ok.
so.
It would take hours to crack it. Or the 3 key.
Do you really think that...
He wrote the letter that was on the safe in the train.
But...
It's his handwriting, and he called me Nico. No one else does that. I chased that man across Europe for years. It is him. It has...
But the...
Enough.
I'll be on my way. I want to find out who gave me the drugged champagne.
Good eye. And get the bullet from Dr. Gephardt.
Of course.
Ok, quindi...
Are you okay?
Minchia, si è drogato pure questo.
Maybe you should
I can sleep once I've caught the raven. Goodbye.
be seeing you.
Ok, adesso andiamo subito dal dottore, recuperiamo il proiettile e poi direi di concludere qui questa gameplay. Andiamo.
Legrand, he's working like a demon. Maybe that's why he caught the raven.
Esaminiamo il modellino.
A model of the White Hall.
Vabbè, andiamo dal dottore.
Come in.
Cambiando. Deutsch. La miseria.
Hello, Dr. Gay.
And there's the next one.
Excuse me?
You want something else from me, don't you?
I'm...
What a first day at work. Well,
Proiettile.
Have you already removed the bullet?
did Legrand send you? What is that Frenchman's problem? I already told you. I will get in touch as soon as I have it. That is also what I told the constable, who he kept sending all night long, once I finally got rid of Legrand himself.
Did he look over your shoulder?
He probably wanted to take the scalpel from my hand and hack away himself. But this is my surgery, and I will not let amateurs interfere with my...
That's understandable.
Ah,
Send my regard.
ha preso il proiettile. Vabbè, analizza il
What's the
corpo.
result of your examination of the victim?
She's dead.
I
Beh.
work all night long, Dr. Gebhardt.
She was shot. Point blank shot. Probably with a
Di punto in bianco dovrebbe
It
essere.
seems like she was lying in bed. The shot struck her heart.
One?
Un solo
More
colpo.
were unnecessary. And we only heard one shot.
And there's just one entrance wound.
Just one.
I am told...
That's how it seems.
What can you tell me about?
Me? Why should that be my business?
Haven't you analyzed?
No, the inspector said he's the better chemist. I let him do it. That way I could at least concentrate on the...
Do you think the Baroness might have... She was very tired and unsteady when Legrand and I...
Yeah, I heard about that. I must have just missed, and without having seen her myself, it is hard to make a
Of course. Can you...
She was quite overweight, and the butler said that she suffered from diabetes. Despite that, she
Doesn't sound...
happens more frequently than you might suppose. Some people are scared of doctors. It is possible that the Baroness wouldn't have lived much longer.
Quindi praticamente può darsi che anche la baronessa sia stata drogata.
Do you know whose glass I drank?
What do you mean?
Captain De Conti handed me a glass of champagne.
I don't know.
Era il suo!
Yes, but I only entered the saloon a few seconds before you did. I didn't manage to get a drink myself.
Which in...
Ah, you're...
I think that's...
No.
Era il suo bicchiere!
Then,
Quindi volevano drogare lui.
For a few hours. Can you tell that to your...
But...
Porca... Ehi.
Could I at least have the key?
Absolute.
But if we have to examine the victim...
Then the esteemed inspector knows where to find me. In my... Good night.
Neither Dr. Gebhardt nor but in contrast, I wonder what would happen if Legrand dragged him out of bed for another invest.
Quindi... Che cos'è quella pianta? Vedi che c'è una
A
chiave.
pitiful a bit of paint on the... Not only does the poor plant have to make do without sunlight, it doesn't have any soil.
Ah no, solo una pietra.
Really? What am I
Cioè si sta rivolgendo al giocatore in questo momento.
Although...
Little Stones. Ah, ce n'è dato anche il proiettile. Vabbè, bene ragazzi, direi che possiamo finire qui questa gameplay di The Raven. Quindi, se il video vi è piaciuto vi ricordo di lasciare un mi piace, un commento e di iscrivervi al nostro canale per rimanere aggiornati su eventuali nuovi video. Quindi, per questo video è tutto. Ci vediamo alla prossima gameplay sul nostro canale. A Flasna a tutti ragazzi.
Start.